In uncertain times, people instinctively look for something stable, something that holds its value when everything else feels like it's falling apart. For thousands of years, that something was gold. It's familiar, physical, and has a long history as a store of value. But over the past decade, a new contender has emerged: Bitcoin. Initially designed to be a peer-to-peer payment system, it's evolved into more of a digital gold instead. So which is the better safe haven? Or is that even the right question? A safe haven asset is something people trust to hold or grow in value over time, especially during crises. Gold has played that role for centuries. It's rare, durable, and doesn't rely on any institution to work. You can melt it down, stash it under a mattress, or trade it in just about any country on Earth. Bitcoin, by contrast, is fully digital. It lives on a decentralized network and is immune to inflation by design. Skeptics scoff at its intangibility, but in a world that's increasingly digital, supporters argue that that's part of its appeal. Gold's track record is undeniable. It's had thousands of years to earn trust, persisting through wars, revolutions, financial crashes, and even the fall of civilizations. While its price can be volatile in the short term, it's held value over the long run. Bitcoin hasn't had the benefit of time. Birthed in 2009 after the global financial crisis, it's an infant by comparison. It hasn't faced world wars or prolonged depressions. Its biggest test so far was the COVID-19 pandemic. When the pandemic hit, both assets reacted, but differently. Gold dipped, but then rose gradually, as expected during a rush to safety. Bitcoin crashed at first, then rebounded dramatically to new highs, following the trajectory of a tech stock rather than a traditional hedge. That said, Bitcoin has one thing gold never will: program scarcity. Only 21 million will ever exist. There's no risk of surprise discoveries, no asteroid mining. Its supply is enforced by code, not by geology. Still, for now, Bitcoin behaves like a risk asset, not a safe haven. Supporters argue this mirrors gold's earlier free market days, when it too was volatile before stabilizing with broader adoption. Bitcoin's swings have already become less dramatic over time, so we'll have to see if that trend continues. Then there's the question of accessibility. Bitcoin lives in the digital realm. It can be sent across the world in minutes, and the seed phrase to access your funds can be stored in various ways: a piece of paper, etched onto metal, a USB stick, or even memorized. Gold must be stored, protected, and physically moved if needed, which isn't always practical. But gold also has a kind of resilience that Bitcoin doesn't. It doesn't rely on electricity, the internet, or any digital infrastructure. In an extreme scenario, like a massive solar flare knocking out global power grids, gold might be the better bet. But if zombies are coming for you, you'll probably want to ditch that heavy metal as you run with your Bitcoin seed phrase in your pocket, or your brain. Short of a zombie apocalypse though, Bitcoin still has advantages in scenarios we see today. For instance, if you had to flee your country. No need to smuggle gold across borders. In that sense, they hedge against different kinds of risk. Now, what about adoption? While gold's role in global finance has diminished, central banks still hold vast reserves as a buffer against uncertainty. Meanwhile, institutional interest in Bitcoin is growing fast. ETFs, crypto custody services, and even nation-state adoption suggest it's being taken more seriously than ever. We're watching a shift in real time. Maybe not a replacement, but perhaps the beginning of coexistence? So, what does the future hold? In a post-fiat world, will we go back to gold or forward with Bitcoin? Maybe the answer is both. Each represents a different kind of trust, one ancient and one algorithmic. But one thing's for sure, the search for a safe haven is timeless, and it's not going away. With inflation rising, debt piling up, and trust in fiat money slowly eroding, that search feels more urgent than ever. Which one would you pick? And if you've ever wondered whether Bitcoin would survive without the internet, check out this video next.